My wife died 3 years ago. She woke up Christmas morning and had a headache. I rushed over there and called the ambulance and stuff because she couldn't make out what she was saying and stuff. And they said that she'd had a stroke and she died. And so that just really threw me into, I basically just kind of lost it. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird hearing my own words.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Walk in My Shoes at its essence is performers who are telling other people's stories, not their own, and they are literally walking in the shoes of another person. All the performers are very much entering into the life of that person whose story that they're telling and hopefully really empathizing with them. And each performance was a little bit different because it is story theater, and you know, sometimes I would come in and make a few changes, or somebody would discover something on stage and they would keep it the next time. And so it was a living thing as we went through the whole production process.
It's a safe place to open those boundaries a little bit and get comfortable with each other, and to an extent, it's kind of a lofty thing to say, but to restore each other's humanity by forming common ground. What are other details that you remember?
We always sit in the balcony so we could kind of look down on everything. She always wore like the typical kind of like velvet type dresses, or something, like the Christmas kind of dresses. Like,
I remember Carol had a velvet dress with lace trim, and I always liked to sit in the balcony. We'd be sitting there looking out over 500, 600 people. And I remember the sounds. It had an old pipe organ in there, and the handbells and the carols, and the light was always candlelight, just the candles, nothing else. A couple of weeks after the funeral, I just threw a bunch of stuff in my truck, started bouncing around hither and yon, not paying really any attention to where I was going. I just wanted to go. And I'm not proud to say it, but I tried to overdose and commit suicide. But they found me and took me in, got me stable, and there was a whole play out from that. Sometimes bad things just happen and you go downhill, and it can happen fast, faster than you ever thought. And it can happen to almost anybody, I guess.
These are real stories. And you have people that come together both from homeless and non-homeless.
It creates a bond, you know, for the whole concept, man. I mean, it's hard to describe, but it's really good. It's really good.
You know, it's not all just about homeless people. Things happen to people.
One story after another, and by the time the last one, I mean, I'm just streaming.
The blessing is that you walk out with hope, because you can see the hope in another story.
People who generally wouldn't be into theater or the arts will be able to really connect with what's happening on stage. And so I think that's really great for people who are watching it, but then also this type of storytelling I feel like is very liberating and very healing for the people whose story it is.
I think that the CCC grants could potentially be transformative in that it is that grassroots, lower level, right in amongst the people, inspiring them, saying, I believe in your project. And that I really do feel like could be the lifeblood of the arts scene in Chattanooga.
I'm not gonna say that I'm a totally 100%, okay with everything over the last few years, but I'm better than I was a couple of years ago. And if it can help somebody else out or let somebody else know, because somebody else might have gone through the same thing or is going through this right now.